Alright. So looks like we're starting off the 5-10 table five-handed. Fold the queen six. Sorry for sounding a bit sick. It's because I am. 9 deuce gonna fold. Here with queen eight suited, gonna defend versus the button opener. Flop a gut shot in the back of their flush draw. Gonna be checking range on the flop. Um, this is a cool spot to just call the C bet and then go for the turn delay check raise. For these drive flops, if you check call the flop then check raise on a brick turn, it looks pretty nutted. Because people are going to expect you to check call some sets here. Yeah, here I'm going to go for the check raise. 140, 240. Get snapped there. I guess I block. I don't block flush draws. So I think I'm gonna want to barrel this. There's a new straight that comes in on the river. I'm gonna go with a pretty big bet, but not an over bet. Get it through. You can pick up a lot of like combo draws on the turn. That snap call. He just went for the snap call, so I don't really know what to think of the snap call. I tend to think it's more like a a draw that just wants to either a draw or a hand that he just plans on calling down with and doing nothing else. I don't think we're ever gonna get like jammed on a brick river. Definitely an interesting hand. I could have all sorts of nutted hands here too on the river, like 5-6, ace-5. I'm gonna check call the flop and then check raise the turn pretty aggressively in that spot. Any like turn flush draws that I pick up, that I check call on the flop, then check raise the turn, I'm not gonna be bluffing the river. But a hand like mine, I think, just have to bluff the river. He can even have a hand like Jack 10 of clubs, Jack 8 of clubs. Something that's just too good to fold the turn, but definitely wants to fold the river. And if he has a really good hand, well, that's good for him. Gonna double check that my timestamps are saving. Hey. I still have mine from last time. Come on. There we go. Safe. Here in the cutoff, gonna open the queen eight suited. Get it through. Don't think I'd be bluffing my hand too much on that flop or turn, but quite possibly on the river, depending on how the action went. Pocket twos here. Just gonna open. Technically don't want to be pure opening a hand like pocket twos in this position, but I'd definitely be pure opening it from the low jack plus. Yeah, I'm just gonna mix like 50-50. I think that's fine. Face a flat call on the hijack. Quick heads up. Ace 8-6. Definitely just going to be checking range on this flop on the dry ace high. He goes with a half pot. If I was like in the hijack and facing a cutoff open, I would consider check raising this hand because there's going to be a lot more pocket pairs. Not that there's not going to be a lot of pocket pairs in his range right now. However, they tend to flat really tight when you open from before the low jack. So I'm just going to fold with not much going for pocket twos there. I could obviously check raise and get a hand like pocket fives or fours or sevens to fold, but I don't expect them to be betting half pot a hand like that. I'd expect them to maybe bet like a third. See if they can get folds from a hand like queen jack, as well as they probably would be looking to check back the turn in a situation like that. When he goes in a bit ahead and he bets a little over half pot, I don't think I'm going to be check raising pocket twos so much. I would prefer to check raise some 10-9, some other broadways that block some of his good ace-x with backdoor flush draws. Those would be like my no pair, no draw. 10-9 would obviously be a draw. I can check raise. I guess in a spot like that, I can check raise 5-4 suited because he's not really saying he has a hand like pocket fives or pocket fours. Here we face a limp and an ISO. I'm not entirely sure if I want to be 3-betting a hand like this. It is a small open. I think it'd be okay sometimes. I'm gonna go ahead and fold this time. Technically, he should be a little bit tighter when he goes for the ISO, although his size is not super indicative of a good hand. Of course, we get punished with. We would have flopped the nuts. It's alright. This guy bets really small in position against the snap call. It's interesting. Doesn't look like we would have won too much money in that pot. Using 2 limpers is obviously just a fold. If he ISOs like properly to like a size like $40 or $50, definitely wouldn't consider 3-betting the king queen offsuit. But I wonder if it would be an okay play. even though it's quite loose versus the range he's supposed to be ISOing. Um, he does ISO small, so I'm wondering if that's just not super indicative of a strong hand. Ace 8 offsuit. Gonna open them on the button. This guy is, since I saw him limping and now he's fighting the small, I'm just gonna consider him a fish. Get our seat in the lake. Going 3 ways to a flop. King high board. It'd be nice to have a club in my hand. I do have the 8. I think multi-way without a club, I have much better hands to c-bet. I don't think I want to be range betting when I'm multi-way. So I'm gonna go ahead and check back with ace high, potentially some showdown value. Don't pick up any kind of equity on the turn to start barreling with. I don't think I'm gonna get too much credit for a king here if you were to check and I were to start betting. So I would have probably just checked it back again. I bet 72. You can have a lot of worse hands than ace high, but obviously we can't go ahead and call here, so I'm just gonna fold. It's quite big anyway. Not many games running tonight. I guess I'll just sit in this 2-5 and wait for it to start. There's my maybe pick up ace jack off and the low jack. Raise. Instantly folds to the small blind, so it's nice for in position. Poker Warriors thinking about something. Or nothing. And we got a call in the big blind. Here I'm gonna have the only 2 pair I'm not gonna have is king 7 suited. I'll have king 7 suited actually. I'm just gonna go ahead and range bet this. he shouldn't have a hand like 7-8 offsuit, so I should have a pretty big range advantage here. We'll time stamp this one since we're so close to the other one that folded around. Ace deuce suited, gonna go ahead and raise. Just gonna be raising all the suited ace x. There's no flat. It's two flats actually. Here we flop the flush draw. Sorry, gut shot with the backdoor flush draw. Gonna be checking range on this flop. Most likely gonna be going for a check raise depending on the size. He goes for a really big sizing here, which is pretty interesting. I'm wondering. He goes ahead and bets like pretty quickly. Wondering if I get to check raise this hand right now. Or just go for the check call. I go for the check call because I shouldn't have 3s and 4s at full frequency. He should. 9 is somewhat interesting. I don't pick up any additional outs. This card, he could definitely have some 9s, 9x in his range pre, that he bets big on the flop. That would make a lot of sense. So I'm probably gonna check and fold versus a big bet. Here the flush draw does come in. He checks back instantly on the turn, so I actually think that he's gonna be pretty devoid of flushes. I'm gonna go for a bet, try to fold out a hand like 7s, 6s. Could have 8s obviously. Gets called. Pocket 10s. Alright. Yeah, pocket 10s is an interesting flat 3, especially with the cold color in between. I wonder if we can even go for an overbet there on the river without a club in our hand. Just off the sole fact that he like snap checked it back. I don't think they're going to be snap checking it back with flush draws. I think they will check back flush draws a decent frequency on the 9 because they don't want to get check raised. But I don't see them just snap checking it back. I feel like that hand is pretty much fine the way it was played. This here. Here in the late gonna fold this. Only gonna be playing this ace-9 offsuit if it folds to me. Which does not. 10 in the cutoff. Gonna be going for the open raise. Banana Joe in the big line. Folds. Go ahead and range bet that flop. Play 1.2x the turn. Check back the river. Ugh. 60 soft, got a fold. Here we pick up the pocket eights under the gun. Raise. A lot of flatting going on in this game right now, so that's a pretty good sign. Here it folds to me. Gonna open the king queen offsuit and the second blind. Here out of position. I could have a betting range here, but pocket eights actually makes the most sense as a check. Could start to bet a hand like pocket twos and threes. Pocket eights still here, so pretty good showdown value. Versus a hand like sevens, fives, fours, threes. Gonna go ahead and check. You shouldn't pick up too many hands here that want to start bluffing. Shouldn't have, I guess you're gonna have like 5-4 suited. Checks it back. On the 7 here. So I get the question now is, do I want to check or do I want to bet $8? Bet $8 would be relying on getting calls from pocket fours and fives, which I think will happen, but I think I'd rather just check and try to get this to showdown. He instantly bets 63. I'm gonna check hands like ace 5 here 3 times. Ace 4. I'm gonna check some good jack X because he could be going for some value with some jack X here. Here the 10 on off I'm gonna call. So I'm gonna have better hands. You could obviously pick up a hand like pocket sevens on the river. I don't see them bluffing on the river much after going check check twice. Here, gonna check. Here I think I'm gonna want to go for the small bet and follow up on non-spade rivers. I'm gonna bet a third. I'm gonna reload. This river specifically, probably not great. He can check back a hand like ace 10 off, ace jack off on the flop. And obviously he can call the turn with the ace of spades. My only folds I'd want to get here would be from a hand like pocket eights with a spade, pocket fours with a spade. I think I was gonna give this one up. Gonna go for the check fold. If I had a low ace X, like with the spade that I bet on the turn, I would also check here. Not gonna be completely devoid of calls. So I think check folding that is fine. Here in the bomb pot, you get pocket kings and flop middle set, which is pretty cool. So I think I can go ahead and start things off with the 10% pot size bet. Yeah, like usual, the 10% pot size bet is pretty cool here. I would consider 3-betting this hand. Definitely consider 3-betting this hand if I get raised. Although I don't expect to get raised too much once these people all check. Nine eight suited in the button, gonna open. Get 2 calls there. Queen 10 does come in, but don't think I have to stop betting here. Pot's 124. Multi-way. They're gonna have hands like some 2 pair they pick up. You're gonna go for the raise as well. We're gonna go for the 66% pot size bet. They all fold. Or river to boat. Would have been nice if somebody picked up a hand like Jack 7 on the turn there. You're gonna reload. Here, pocket seven is definitely gonna open. You're gonna fold this. Pocket sevens here. This one I'm gonna open as well. Pocket sevens. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and continue versus the 3-bet, even though he's a little bit short. A pretty bad flop for us. He's not gonna be 3-betting a hand like sevens himself, so I'm wondering if I can go ahead and check raise a hand like pocket sevens here and try to get a fold from a hand like yeah. I think it's worth trying here to get a fold from a hand like pocket jacks, pocket queens, pocket tens. Especially with the spade in our hand. Obviously we're dead versus ace king, but he calls. I check raised to a size in the flop where I think he would have definitely thought about it a little bit longer. The hand like queens and jacks. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give this up. SPR is like a little over 1, so I don't expect to get any folds after he calls that check raise. Bet 60. I mean, I feel like I'm just getting milked here. He's not betting ahead like pocket jacks or queens. At worst, he has some kind of king, which. Let's go ahead and fold it. 7-7, no spade. I'll just go for the check fold on the flop. Cool c-bet sizing by him, I think, actually. Here the blind versus blind, 10-8 off. Gonna go ahead and call. Flop middle pair. Goes ahead and bets small. Not sure if he's range betting. Even if he was, a hand like 10-8 isn't good enough to check or to raise for value, so I'm just gonna go ahead and call. I beat a lot of hands. I did beat a lot of hands. Now I lose to a lot of hands. His bluffs have got to be like ace 5-0, ace 6-0 with the club, queen 5 spades, queen 5 hearts, stuff like that. No club in my hand. I'm just gonna go ahead and fold this. No. Ace 9 suited here, gonna be opening. This one out of position, gonna be checking. Goes ahead, bets half pot. Ace 9 diamonds. Nothing to do here but check fold, in my opinion. A6 here, gonna fold. 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 Um, Here gonna go for the easy squeeze. This guy just cold calls, now we're heads up with this cold caller, which is really funny. Um, 9, 9, 10. It's pretty funny here. I have a gut shot and I'm gonna start off with a small bet, just because I don't want it to check through versus like ace queen, where I can get a hand like ace queen to fold right away. Just considering going for the checkers there, but I don't think that with a hand like ace king of diamonds, I think going for the check raise would be cooler. Because I like checking with the ace king on the flop there. Because I get a cooler ace queen on ace turns. As well as ace king obviously has more showdown value than king 10. Doesn't benefit as much from folding out a hand like king queen. So that's my thought process on the flop. Here, pocket threes versus the button open. He's a little short, but obvious call. And obviously just going to be range checking. Pocket threes with the club. Shouldn't be range betting this board, so I think I'm just going to go for the check fold. And clearly he's not just range betting when he uses big size. I'm going to have a lot of hands that I can continue with or check raise with that aren't this. I don't think he's betting a hand. He could be betting a hand like pocket fives or fours here that I can get to fold, but I don't know if the 2-5 population, especially the ones that are playing shorter than 100 big blinds, are aware of the flop strategy here on the 2 Broadway, that he should be overbetting a hand like pocket fives here or pocket fours. I don't think they're aware of that, and I think they may just check back. Kings have an offsuit, go for the raise. If I bet here, what would I be accomplishing? You might instantly think that you'd want to, fold out a hand like pocket threes, fours, fives. I block pocket sevens, but those hands can also have a diamond that are going to go for the check call. I do beat some low pseudo hands. I think I'm going to check back this one. This one should be fairly better for him. Should have more of the low flushes than I do. King high here. King high. It's hard to say what we should be doing here. Could have a hand like a7 offsuit. I think I can bluff on the river. I might even have to. Here, I think just clear check back and make some showdown value. 8-6. Yeah, we do have some showdown value when it's button versus big blind. Let me know if you would have bluffed that earlier on. Here, a fold. This is kind of an odd 3-bet size. Here with the 8-7 suit, gonna open. Get the big blind to call, so we're hijack versus big blind. Here, my strategy is gonna be big bet or check. In terms of, I'm gonna be going like 0.66 or over bet. I'm gonna go with the 0.66 here, so I can barrel on a lot of turns since I'm not blocking any backdoor straight draws. I can get some value from those hands that check call the flop and check fold the turn. Here, same hand, gonna open. This is kind of a shitty table. Everybody's playing short. It's kind of disappointing. Here we get the small blind to call. We are multi-way here, and I block a hand like pocket 8s and pocket 7s that can fold versus a bet. I do have a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw, but I'm going to be checking this one just because of the properties of my hand. I am blocking some folds, which is not good. And if I bet and get called, it's a pretty bad situation. This one I think is actually versus this size and this stacked up. I think it's a better check fold than a check raise or check call because I'm not drawing to the nuts with my gut shot. And the nuts already is on the board with the king queen. And yeah, I have a backdoor flush draw, but with the size of the stacks there, don't really want to go like check call versus big bet because there's not much on the river behind to get paid with if I do hit my flush. King 10 offsuit here with the ante, I think is a call. I'll go ahead and call. It might be slightly loose. With the ante, I think it's actually probably a pure call, but the rake here is a little high, so that might kind of offset things. I would have been fine with a fold pre. Here I'm just going to be checking. In these positions, 3 deuce suited, I should have 2. I could maybe have a donking range on this flop. This is not a good size by him. If I had pocket 3s here or pocket 2s, I would 100% be check raising. And yeah, he wants to be going small here and he wants to be checking back at a decent frequency. King high gonna fold though. So fold. Pick up 10-5 suit on the button, gonna be raising. ace queen suited here on the button, gonna be raising or three betting. So raising. in any case, I'm gonna be raising. Jack 8-6 here. I'm gonna go for the range bet. Ace queen on ace king 5. This is gonna be an overbet or check board. I'm gonna go for the 110% pot here. Here he donks on the turn, which is somewhat interesting because I mean I don't have anything to call with here, so I'm just gonna check fold, but I don't think you should be donking here. I like going with the like 110% pot size bet on the flop there for my overbet sizing because I don't want to hand like a7 to fold, even though they never should in theory. They might. And what's funny is that like in a sim, you're gonna see King X start to fold versus an overbet on the flop. Like if you were to bet like 133, people generally don't check fold any pair, any board pair on the flop. However, they might actually start to fold King X on the flop versus 1.33, but I think they're likely to not fold King X on the flop versus 1.1. So the hand like ace queen, I think going 1.1 is probably the highest EV. That or 0.75 would be cool as well. Queen 8 suited in the hijack. Just gonna go ahead and raise this. Pick up King 10 offsuit in the hijack here. Gonna be raising if it folds to me. He goes for the limp. Chiefs is pretty fishy. And I would like to play heads up versus him. So I'm gonna go for the 4 big blind ISO. I don't want to go too big and overvalue my hand. I get cold called, which is not great. This guy's cold calling a lot. I don't expect Chiefs to check to limp fold here, so. Here, gonna be going with the 10% pot size bet with any equity. A free flop middle pair. So I'm gonna go ahead and doing that. Here I'm a little bit torn, to be honest, because he does cold call, and these cards are kind of better for him than they are for me. However, I do have a hand that does not want to check call. I don't really want to check raise, and I do like to go for the bet here. 50. I'm gonna go for the half pot. I don't think I want to be going 1/3 here. Here I get one call. I'm gonna mainly be barreling this. I'm gonna go for the overbet. Here I'm gonna raise. Here, Chiefs goes with the $10 bet, which is pretty interesting. I think I'm gonna call him bluff diamonds. That one's a check range anyway on the low connected. Here I'm gonna be go for the open raise. Yeah, the problem with this diamond is that now we don't get any folds from any pair ever, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and check call. I'm gonna check this one. I don't think I get enough folds here. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be folding a hand like that. Go ahead and range bet this one here. This one I'm gonna check. I guess ace three off with the ace of clubs might be a better 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here, I wonder if I want to go for the check raise. Here, I think I'm gonna go for the bet here. Here, I'm just gonna go with this and maybe get value from some two pairs. If they ever check back the flop. Now he calls. He calls twice. What can you have? You can obviously have some spades. Do I have any showdown value? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And like 6, 7 does get there, although they might just fold on the turn. I think you can pick up a lot of flush draws here. So I think I'm going to use a size that just gets flush draws to fold. Oh, it's TJ. I didn't realize that. Could beat some flush draws, but I don't want to like check back and lose versus like ace 6 of spades. He goes for the check raise. It's pretty obvious what he has. Wow, did I call out his hand exactly? That's a really bad call. I'm pretty confused. What the fuck was that? Here pick up pocket tens. I'm really confused by his call. I guess he's thinking that he blocks 6, 7, but I'm not really even. I'm not repping only 6, 7, right? I'm gonna have King X as well in that size. I'm not gonna be bluffing spades, so for him to call spades, it's probably fine. What kind of bluffs do you think I have? Like, it's kind of hard to come up with bluffs there, right? I'm really confused by that call by TJ, but good for him, I guess. Here we face the cold 4-bet. I think Tony was mentioned that this guy before is like really tight, and he didn't even 3-bet queens in the straddle versus the small blind open. So here it's just like really super clear fold. We do have, I mean, no, there's nothing to do there with tens. Fold. I wonder what TJ was thinking in that hand there. He must be thinking that he blocks 6, 7, but I would go for the check raise with this hand way before I go for the check call. Check call is really like if he loses to a hand like ace 10, he's really kicking himself on the river. Or like ace 9, like I can bluff ace 9 on the river. I can even bluff ace 7 on the river. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I guess he figures he beats a hand like like queen seven suited, queen six suited. I guess also he figures I'm just way over bluffing. Wow, but imagine I bet a hand like ace jack on the river and just get called and win. Here you're gonna go for the fold. Pocket threes in the button. Easy open.
Checks here, early position, gonna raise. Multi-way here. Could get some value from some hands. It blocks some draws. I'm gonna go ahead with a bet here. And 3-bet there. Gonna go with the go 300. Pocket 4 is gonna raise. You're gonna be 3-betting. I'd be going with the 20% pot here. You're gonna be going for 80. Here I could have a betting range. This spade, it actually does make some sense. I'm gonna go ahead and bet because I can get a hand like sixes to fold. Here, I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna be range betting. And here, I have no time banks, fuck. Oh, sorry, I faced the cold call here, which is interesting. Here, I'm just gonna go with the check fold, I guess. I 3-bet, he cold calls. Here, I'm gonna check. Out of position, I'm gonna check. In position, wonder what I could do there. Here I'm gonna fold. Here I'm gonna call. Here I guess I just check. Ace Queen of Hearts. I would expect that hand to bet sometimes on the turn. Here he bets the overbet, which is actually pretty good. The early position versus big blind is actually trends towards the range bet and less towards the overbet or check. But I think the strategy still works. Blind versus blind here. Open. I'm wondering if I should have gone for maybe a double check raise or a check raise on the turn here. Versus that sizing, it could be some kind of weak ace X or jack X. I had no time banks, which kind of sucks. That jack 10 hand. We have showdown value versus a hand like tens, nines. So I see, obviously you're gonna go for the range bet, and then I don't think there's. I mean, he could. I mean, even if he has a hand like ace queen, he's not gonna be folding the turn. So I'd have to triple off as a bluff hand like that was top pair on the flop. I think I like my line of just going for the range bet, and then on the king, going for the check again. Or sorry, starting with the check on the king. I'm wondering what our overall strategy should be on the king here. We're gonna have we're gonna have ace queen, queen 10. We're gonna have 4 5. We're gonna have 10 9. We're gonna have ace x of diamonds. We're gonna have all these hands. I don't think we quite want to be range betting the king. I am gonna have a lot of bluffs in the king. I would probably want to start. We are out of position. Would I want to check a hand like king 10? If I check a hand like king 10, where would the EV come from in that? The EV from checking a hand like king 10 would rely on him to start. Well, generally, it would rely on him to start bluffing, right? Which generally isn't a good thing to rely on in these low stakes games. And if I check the king, I would probably be relying on it to go for him to call an overbet with a jack on the river, on our river brick. Here we have no equity that we flopped, so I'm gonna go with the check. So I think if I had a hand like king 10, I would just keep betting. Maybe king 9 would be in my line, just because I wouldn't be able to get too many calls from worse, and since we're out of position, I kind of have a 2-street hand, so I could maybe check the turn and hope he bluffs, and if he doesn't, I could bet the river for value. Well, jack 10, I think it's fine just to go for the check on the turn. Here we pick up pocket queens in early position, gonna open. Here versus the 4-bet, sorry, the 3-bet, it's kind of short. This hand would mix in theory. I'm just gonna go ahead and fold. We face the flat here from Ravi, don't know what to call him. Three ways to a flop. That is ace high. On the 2 Broadway, can definitely have a betting range. Queens doesn't make a ton of sense to bet. We don't really need to deny any equity. 3 ways on the ace high board, a little hard. We don't have a 3-street hand, so I don't really want to be going bet check. I'd prefer to go check it and then maybe go for 2 bets. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start off with a 3rd pot. Go for the call. Oh, I meant to call that. Sorry. I get 2 calls. Okay, I'm gonna be range checking. Here, my hand is probably strong enough to go for the half pot. Here checks. Oh, sorry, this is not button versus blue man. The antes confused me here. Check back on the flop after he raised. That makes sense. Blind versus blind. Yeah, I definitely want to start betting. I can check back. Hand like ace-6 spades on the or ace-6 of diamonds on the flop. Some showdown value in the blind versus blind situation. Now he could be going at the check call with like pocket 4s with a diamond, pocket 3s with a diamond. Here's the check fold. Air blind versus blind. Open the 6-5 suitor. Folds. A very nice flop. Not much else happening from me in the rest of that run out. Queen 9 gonna raise. Sorry if that cough is extremely loud. Flop a flush on this monotone flop. Probably actually better for me. Maybe somewhat neutral. Either way, always going to be betting this hand. Might check back a hand like Ace King of Hearts. Gonna be using 1/3 as my main sizing here. This goes for the check fold. These broad games kind of suck, to be honest. Like, look at this garbage. Almost nobody has a 1K stack. Yeah. Here, gonna be raising Ace-10 off. I wonder why TJ's playing short. I know he doesn't like to buy in super deep, but I'm surprised to see him short. This monotone flop, somewhat neutral. Has some showdown value with the Ace-10, although I think I'm much more credible for repping flushes if I do go for the bet. So I'm gonna bet the 1/3. Here's check folds. Make the nuts on the turn. Keep the nuts on the river. I'm gonna sit out over here quickly. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break in a minute. Versus the early position open. We were discussing flatting hands like this. Although with all these people behind and somewhat like the 3.5x open, I think folding the 3s is fine. Maybe call like 5s plus. Maybe calling 3s is fine and going for the 3-bet with pocket 7s plus. Maybe that would be fine. I still haven't quite figured out my flatting strategy with the pocket pairs from positions that aren't the button or big blind. So I'm still kind of playing around with that in my head, how I want to approach those spots. Yeah, I figured we would get punished. Right? That makes sense. King Queen suited going to be opening under the gun. Get 3-bet. So here's the thing with that. Is that when you get 3-bet from somebody that tends to flat a lot of hands, when especially when you're under the gun, this hand just becomes a pure fold. Even though it seems nitty, this is just a pure fold. Take that bathroom break. Pick up a nice combo draw on the turn and brick everything. That's fine. Just gonna play until my straddle here. Yeah, fold. Fold that. I will be back in 5 minutes. Sorry again if that was loud. Might be a bit too sensitive if I'm gonna be coughing into it. Here, pick up Queen Jack suited in the first blind. Uh, yeah, easy open here. Put 3 big blinds. Fold. Oops. Get to pick up the pot there. here. The ace queen gonna be going for the 3-bet. This is actually a hand that we could maybe start to develop a flatting range with on the button. You're gonna go for the ISO. You're gonna go for the fold. We get the cold caller, which is funny, and the first player there calls. Flop top 2 pair. Gonna be going for the small range bet. Can actually maybe go for the 0.2 or 0.25 range bet. Here gonna see me. I think the hand has value in betting third pot. Wow, my hand gets massively. Wow, this is pretty interesting. I don't know what to think of this. Could he cold call a hand like ace king? I think he could. He could cold call a hand like jack 10. Damn. I'm wondering if I can fold ace queen here. I can fold king queen. I'm wondering if here I go for the call and hope he checks. I think I'm just gonna go for the fold, I guess. Seems just really weird. I don't know what to think of that at all. Tell me if that's a bad fold. I was considering calling. I wish I had more time. I was considering calling. I do have outs versus a flush. I guess I don't even think he's saying he has a hand like king queen, right? If he sees a hand like if he cold calls pre with a hand like king queen, oh, this guy bets huge into 9 players, and I have a weak kicker on a board that's very likely to change on the next street. Seems weak, but I think if we kind of look at these bomb pots a bit like PLO and see like versus 100% range pre, my hand is pretty weak. Back to the ace queen hand. You can obviously have some hands like they don't know his cold, like the whole hand gets messed up because he cold calls pre, right? So it's hard to say if he has a hand like 10-9 suited in his range. It's likely. If he has a hand like jack 10 suited in his range, also likely, but not 100% sure. I would assume he has a hand like ace king offsuit at some frequency because these people just aren't really cold 4 betting properly. I would assume he has a hand like king queen suited. I would assume he has a hand like ace queen suited. And then so man, I really don't know. I really don't know. Am I ever folding the best hand here? I don't think he takes a hand like king queen, check calls it, and then sees this turn that brings in the straight and a flush, and then just bets big into me with king queen. That would just be like a pure spaz, right? So if I call there, I'm pretty much relying on him to have spazzes. You can't even have a hand like pair plus flush draw besides like a pocket pair plus a flush draw. Maybe he has like a hand like jacks or tens with a flush draw. That would be his only like bluffs, really. Trying to get a hand like ace jack to fold. Man, that is confusing. And also, if he has a hand like jacks or tens of the heart, I assume he's gonna just keep on bluffing, right? I'm gonna go ahead and send that one in the chat.
If I'm gonna call a bet there, I'd almost prefer to have a hand like jacks or tens of the heart myself than a hand like ace queen. Let's see my suits. Ace queen spade diamond. Sorry. Leave this absolutely garbage game and try to find something else. Some people in the queue, but whatever. Queen nine suit on the button. Gonna go ahead and raise. Ace three. We have fold, I think. Here normally I'd range bet this heads up. However, multi-way, I don't really need to deny much equity because I don't get a hand like Jack 10 or Queen 10 to fold. Also, I get the cooler Queen 10 on turn Queen. I'm gonna go ahead and check this back. Well, cooler. It's not like he's gonna put a ton of money in with the Queen, but it's gonna happen sometimes. So now I turn two pair, middle two pair. I expect TJ to squeeze a hand like Jack 10 suited pure. Jack 10 offsuit, he could go ahead and call. King Queen, he would also raise pure, I think. I'm wondering if I want to go for a gonna go for a raise. King Queen, I think you'd squeeze pure. Jack 10 suited squeezing pure, so he has 12 combos of Jack 10 off, but I don't know if he starts off with the third pot size bet. Always, plus he's gonna have hands like King 10, King Jack. Maybe maybe this is a little bit thin. It's possible. It's possible it's a little thin. Maybe my thinnest turn raise should be I don't really check back King Queen on the flop. I think it's fine. You're gonna fold. This is hijack. Just gonna go ahead and 3-bet that. Calls. Get a range bet flop. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna hand like Ace Queen. He could have a hand like King Queen. He could obviously have a hand like Ace Queen himself. He could also have a hand like Jack 10 or King Jack. Also, you're gonna have a hand like Ace 10. You know, some Ace King offsuit. So there's some value in my bet, but I am gonna be range betting. Versus the check raise. He's check raising and he's saying that he wants to get it in. Obviously. Uh, I'm gonna have aces, I'm gonna have kings, I'm gonna have queens, I'm gonna have jacks, I'm gonna have all sorts of hands. This is just a fold. Man, I hate Broad 2-5 sometimes. It's just a dog shit game. I guess you're gonna have a hand like Ace 10 of diamonds, Ace King of diamonds, although Ace King of diamonds, man, they're gonna 4-bet pre. You're gonna have a hand like, yeah, Ace 10 of diamonds. You're gonna have some Ace Queen of diamonds. You're gonna have some King Queen of diamonds. You can have Ace Queen by itself for the check raise because I am range betting, so we can go. You can check raise top pair. But versus the check raise, I'm gonna have way better hands to continue. I can even have King Queen of diamonds myself, Ace 10 of diamonds myself. Those all make better calls versus the check raise than Ace Jack would. However, I'd probably just continue my entire range as a jam. He even goes like bigger than 3x with this small amount behind. So he's really just trying to get it in. Yeah, I would just continue use my entire continue range as a jam. Now jam nut flush draw and probably ace queen plus. I don't know if ace queen is too tight for the SPR. We go to the flop SPR of like 3-ish, 4-ish, whatever. Uh, King queen. Does king queen want to get it in? I don't think king queen wants to get it in versus a 2-5 player that's not even playing 100 big blinds effective that opens a 3.5x, calls a 3-bet, and check raises to a large sizing. I don't even think king queen is good enough to get it in. I think he's really just saying he has ace queen plus or a combo draw, so I would just get an ace queen plus and yeah, I'll just get in with ace queen plus and nut flush draw or combo draws anyway, and live with the results. gonna sit out of this garbage game. I'm gonna try and find something else. Only have about an hour left in the session, but hour and 15-ish. Lost 343 here. I always seem to lose in the broad 510. Not sorry, not broad 510, broad 2-5. 510 I tend to do a lot better in the 510 than I do in 2-5 now, which is funny. Which, speaking of which, broad has not been running much 510. Damn. Oops. Okay, I'm not gonna ISO this hand to $60. I'm just gonna go ahead and check. Suited here in the big blind. He limps. Ace-9 suited. Just gonna go 45 here. I want to see that hand he just played. That seemed really retarded what he just did. I think that, if I'm seeing it right, I think he just cold called pocket kings pre-flop. So it goes open from Banana Joe. 3-bet next to act. That's small blind. So it goes hijack open, cut off 3-bet, button folds, small blind folds, and then Chief just cold calls the 90 with pocket kings. Jesus Christ. Here, pick up the ace king suited. And go for the 3.5x. He calls. This monotone flop. If I bet hand, if I bet this, I don't think pocket tens, even without a diamond, goes for the fold. I don't want to be range betting. I'm not entirely sure to play this spot, I'm gonna be honest. So I'm just gonna I think ace king wants to check because I don't need to make ace queen fold. 72, 90. We'll go for 90 here. Here we pick up top pair, top kicker. However, obviously, yeah. There's the 4 flush. I'm wondering if we want to go for the bet here, or the catch on the river, or a bet on the river. So now I'm wondering, I guess I can check back king queen. I'm gonna have flushes too. Maybe this makes an okay check back again. This one's an interesting hand I want to discuss with you. Now we pick up top two. Pretty clear bet here. So I'm gonna go about half pot. I'm gonna go for the yeah, half pot. You can call a hand like ace queen. I wonder if he would just block with a hand like ace queen. I would imagine he would block with a hand like pocket tens, with a diamond, because he doesn't want to go for the check raise, and you can just get value yourself. You don't want to rely on me betting ace queen no diamond, and then just check calling. You'd prefer to bet a hand pocket tens yourself for like 0.75 pot.
and then get calls from those hands, or like if I have like pocket nines or eights with a flush that I check back on the turn, then I get to call that bet. So I don't think he has a flush very often, unless it's like the nut flush that wants to go for the check raise. That's a spot I think I definitely have to study, now that I realize I don't know how to play that very well. Back to that pathetic pocket kings hand. This guy, again, just goes ahead and check calls the small bet with kings. It's funny. Check, check. And he checks it there with kings on the river. Jesus. I guess he's thinking maybe a hand like ace jack that picks up showdown value on the turn. Here I'm going to be going for the ISO there. And he goes for the fold versus the ISO. You don't see many people go for the limp fold. A lot of people limp with really the intent on calling any raise that's not ridiculously sized. So if he is going to be limp folding, I'm going to want to start ISOing wider. All these people behind. I think this hand's a fine one to go for the 5x. I just get snap cold called by Ravi, who has been cold calling quite a bit. And now I don't really expect Chiefs to fold too much. I pick up the board where now I'm wondering if I want to treat this like a 3-bet pot where I'll range bet, or like a single raise pot where I'm going to be more polar here. I think either way, I actually want to start off with a small bet, even if I'm not range betting, which I don't think I will be. If I'm treating it like a single raise pot, I'm definitely not. That one gets through. It's cool. Not many games running tonight. Maybe this one. Oh no, this is the one I was in. This one is trash. This one looks pretty trash as well. I don't know what's going on with Broad Street these days, but it's not been great. Poker Pro has been way better. I need to get into some new clubs. Yeah, Broad Street is just straight dog shit these days. Jesus. Like short stack nits is not the people I want to be playing against. I want to be playing versus the loose players when we're all 200 or 300 big blinds effective. Maybe pick up the pocket kings on the ace-high flop. We're gonna be going with the 10% bet here. Let me know if going with the pocket pair that has a piece, you're also going for the 10% pot, or if you're just going with 10% pot with like any board pair plus. Here, actually interesting. I'm gonna go for the call.
Here we get the. I'm gonna have to check. Here we get one caller.
At 45, 45. 70.
My straight drawouts actually have some reverse implied odds. I'm not drawing anything nuts. I'm gonna fold this. Kings, I guess I can check. It's kind of close because now it like he goes for the 74. Goes for like the half pot. You could have a hand like 10 jack, 10 8, all these hands. I'm gonna check call. Block some flush draws, so that's not fantastic. Now. Now. I could check because I have some showdown value. However, I'm going to be considering going for a check raise here. He just snap checks it back, and I win. I was probably going to be check raising a bet. Obviously, you could have a hand like a6, but I can probably make some straights fold if I go for the overbet check raise. 9-7 off, I believe it's just a fold. King 10 here, going to be going for the open raise. Ace Queen, going to be going for the 3-bet. Unless Chiefs 3-bet, because we've seen how tight he is pre-flop. Get the call. Get the ace high board. Going to be going for the small range bet. I think the hijack versus button in position here, I can go for the 33%. Out of position, I'd probably go for the 0.2. Here I'm going to go for the 33%. I think going 0.2 would be fine here as well. But I have been liking the smaller c-bet sizes because, especially out of position. So here we ISO the 6s. I don't know if I timestamped this, so I'm going to do it again. Face 2 cold callers, and I don't think Chiefs is ever folding here now. Wow, he does fold, which is really interesting. On the queen high board, he can obviously have a hand like 3s and 5s, so can he. They also have a hand like 7 and 8s, which doesn't fold on the flop though versus a bet. I'm wondering now, if I had a hand like 2s of the heart, I could maybe check a raise, that'd be cool. 6s is probably on the line. I think I'm gonna go for the check out of position. If we treat it like a single raise pot on this dry board, I'm gonna be checking range anyway. Turn jack. Yeah, now it's just a fold there. Obviously, they'll have some bluffs like King 10 or some like Ace X flush draw, but after I ISO to 50, I think people are going to be a little reluctant to 3-bet too light. So I actually think they're even going to have hands as strong as like King Queen here, maybe even Ace Queen, definitely Queen Jack, definitely 3s and 5s. I myself am going to have hands like Ace Queen if I'm checking range, King Queen, Queen Jack, a ton of hands. like continue with. So if you look at it in that sense, you try to think about your range and go through all the hands you're gonna have in that spot. You can kind of arrive at what type of hands you have to call with and like which kind of hands you're obliged to call with. So if you look at all that, pocket sixes doesn't really make the cut. Like I'd prefer to have a hand like ace 10 offsuit with the ace of hearts. I'd probably go ahead and raise that or call, but either way, I'd prefer to have a hand like that because I can have some good bluffing opportunities on some heart rivers. Even on like a 10 river, I could have some bluffing opportunities. So yeah, no need to continue with the pocket sixes there, I don't think. I guess if there's nothing else, then no choice but to keep playing this. Um, I'm hoping that the video isn't frozen for you because when I'm looking at my OBS screen, it's frozen. Although the time is still counting, so I think it's still going. Hopefully. In jack offsuit, gonna be going for the call. Flop top pair. Oh, sorry, I'm not versus the button. I'm versus the small button. I gotta stop getting that confused. He bets. I don't know if he's range betting. If he was range betting, could possibly make an argument for raising here, but here's just an easy call. Pocket tens here versus under the gun and the cold caller. I think here it's actually fine to flat. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Here I want to be going for value. Gonna rep a lot of bluffs. Mixing squeeze here with the tens. If I were to bet, what would I be getting value from here? I'd be getting value from a hand like 10-9, ace-9. Does it check a hand like king-queen? I think my hand can actually go for the half pot size bet here. I'm gonna check tens again. Maybe some random ace highs. Does he have a hand like a 7 at any frequency? Possibly. But people aren't check raise bluffing enough anyway, so he goes for the bet here. Third pair multi-way. He checks back on the flop. He could definitely have a hand like a jack. He's going for value here. I think I'm gonna fold. I don't know why that's like that. I don't know what he's thinking about. I guess maybe he's thinking about calling with ace high. Usually they think this long, they call. How many time backs does this guy have? Hello? Stick it in. Okay. Show the jack. Oh, it won't let me. I'll just show the jack just to maybe tilt him. Because I can have a hand like Jack 10 is bluffing him. I don't know what he was thinking about so long there. He must have been thinking about a pocket pair of sorts or ace high. Maybe he doesn't think the half pot size is bluffy enough. But she's actually probably right. Probably not bluffing enough for the half pot sizing. Whereas if I go 0.75, I probably have a lot more bluffs in my range, or if I overbet, I'm gonna have a lot more bluffs. That's pretty interesting actually. Maybe I could exploitatively yeah. Bet bigger with my hand instead of trying to milk calls. I think this is just a fold, the blind versus blind. I know that strategy changes a little bit when it's with the ante. I might actually want to limp a hand like mine. There's a big limping strategy from the second blind in the ante games. I'm not quite familiar with it, so I think that sticking with like a small blind versus big blind range and game tree is probably gonna be more profitable for me for now anyway, until I learn that strategy with the limps. I know you're supposed to be limping really, really wide in the second blind when it folds to you. Here with the king 10, gonna go for the raise. And here, I'm gonna go with 3-bet. Can mix, but there's TJ in the blinds, who's actually surprisingly not 3-betting much. However, he's gonna squeeze more aggressively than the average player here, so I'm not gonna wanna face squeeze too much. Here, real easy call versus the 4-bet. Just gonna time it down a little bit. Continue. Pocket 7 to the spade would be a nice continue, but here if I bet, I don't think the 4-bet range is gonna be that I'm gonna check. I'd bet with a spade. I mean, obviously beat a hand like ace king, right? Which maybe he's just too scared to bluff. Well, I guess sometimes I lose to jacks here, but I would expect him to bet jacks. That would be pretty funny if he didn't bet jacks. I get a win versus ace king, so I guess I'll go ahead and check it back. He's not 4-betting nines, so yeah. He's just too scared to bet ace king, which is pretty funny. Excuse me. Wow, that must have been really loud for you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna warn you to turn down your volume for this this commentary because of all my coughing and sneezing, and or maybe I should be the one to turn down my mic volume. That would make more sense. 10-6 suited here, gonna go for the call. Top pair on 10-4-3 rainbow. Gonna be range checking. His strategy should be a big better check strategy. He goes for the range bet, and he instantly bets. So I think he actually is going with the range bet, which is not a good strategy on this flop. I would pure check raise king 10 ace 10 here, but 10-6 just gets to check call. I have to be a little faster in my decision making because I have no time banks. Hand like 5-6 gets there, but I do block that. He can turn a lot of bluffs like 8-9, flush draws, stuff like that. Um, Here they might just snap check back ace high. I'm gonna go with the block bet sizing. I have a third. I'm not gonna go 0.1. You just snap folds. Okay, moving on. Just gonna see if I could fix this freezing. What's going on? Yeah, there we go. If it was frozen for you before, it should be fixed now. I hope it wasn't though. Cool. Here we pick up two big hands. Gonna be opening the ace king over here for the RFI and the cutoff. Ace 10 suited in the big blind, so I'm gonna fold. Blind versus blind. Easy peasy 3-bet. Could maybe flat that sometimes. This one gonna be range betting. This one gonna be going for the 3.5x 3-bet. Snap folds. King 8 here, gonna fold. This one. Block hands like ace jack of spades that float, then now fold. Although I don't really need to fold that hand. What would my bluffs be? My bluffs would be 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll check this one back. This one I'm gonna open. You can win versus a hand like 7, 8. 7, 8, 9, 8, 3, 4 gets there. I think I can call this one. Win sometimes. Queen jack happens. This one's definitely gonna check. I'm not gonna have. I guess I can call some pocket pairs, but ace king. Ace king is probably better than a hand like pocket nines with unblocked bluffs. Ace 4 here, blind versus blind. I would have an overbetting range here. This hand is definitely just going to check on the turn though. I'd start overbetting ace queen plus and my draws. Now if I were to be checking this again, I would be going for the check raise, but people don't really call it worse. So I'm just gonna go with the pot size bet. want to make the funny sizing over the pot sizing just for fun. You can, in theory, probably check that 3 times. I guess maybe the EV and checking again would be you'd be relying on them to overbet a hand like Jack X. Would that be correct? Uh, yeah, you'd have to have them like really bet big with a hand like Jack X, but I'd prefer just to name my own price with the Ace X. Like I can still go for a big sizing and not have to rely on them betting Jack X themselves, or I can just like they would always call a Jack versus a bet, and they'll snap check that King High, whereas maybe at some frequency they'll call King High. Yeah, I just suck in the 5-10 or the 2-5 at Broad Street. Oh well. Gonna be checking this. Oh, sorry, folding. Got kings here. Yeah, kings versus the limp. Maybe pick up ace jack here and the low jack. 12, 18, 24, 30. I'm gonna go for the 5x ISO. We got the pocket sevens here versus an hijack open. Easy call. Never three betting. Flop the set on the connected flop. Um, there's two straights here, but obviously he's not gonna be checking back 5-6 much or jack 9 ever. I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna fold. I'm gonna fold. I'm gonna go with the 2/3. I don't really time max. I didn't get to think about that longer. I wonder if we want to have an overbet here. I don't think he's gonna be checking back much. This is a kind of a bad card for me to get value on. However, I don't think he'll be checking back much 9x on the flop. Maybe like ace 9. Let's bet this. Maybe I should go a little bit smaller to get some folds from some two pair hands. You're gonna go for the 3-bet. Just gonna go to 90. Here you're going with the open. Here, easy fold. Not a flop I want to be range betting on. Ace queen is a cool check back here. Another one that I think I just want to check. I do have some showdown value here. Easy check back here again, I think. Lose some pocket pairs, but it's fine. Okay. Pocket eights under the gun. Easy raise. This one, easy fold. Not much happening for me in the lake tonight, but get the flat call from Ravi. I've yet to see many showdowns, so I'm not exactly sure how wide he's flatting. You're gonna fold. Multi-way. I'm not sure if you want to have a betting range here. I know like heads up Singora's pot out of position. You could have like a polar betting range here for 0.66. Pocket eights though makes the most sense as a check. That's half pot ish, a little lower. I guess I guess with the caller here, I block hands like 7-8 that like he would call or that he would bet, so I block some bluffs or some draws that call. So with him betting like half pot, him calling, I guess would just have to fold. Makes no sense to me. Gotta hold that. Got the ace king in the early position. Raise. Maybe 4 betting any 3 bet. He 3 bets, I just get it in. He 3 bets, I just get it in. On the 2 Broadway, multi-way, don't think I want to be range checking here. And so I think I'm betting 33% pot or check, and I think ace king makes it into the betting range. Or check raise would be fine. I don't really expect people to stab super late. I would like a check raise here, that'd be fine too. A 4. I don't expect him to cold call too many 4s here. I wouldn't want to be over betting. About 0.75. Can wrap a lot of bluffs, right? Queen 10 gets there. That's one of the main draws. You can also like check jam on me, which I don't like, with like a flush draw to rep. Like if he has like even like Queen 9 of clubs, something like that. And I guess betting here, I'd like to bet more with King Queen blocking the straight, but I get called less often by a hand like King Queen, King 10. This could be a, I guess I'd check. Yeah, King Queen. Maybe I could go for the thinnish value bet on the river. Or maybe our value should be 2 pair plus, like King Jack, King 9. I mean, obviously Ace King is 2 pair, but I mean So here, ace queen. I'm gonna go for the check. I could bet as well, but I think I'm gonna go for the check and the raise. Um, Now, probably want to start getting some pocket twos, threes, fours, fives, sixes, and eights through nines to fold. Start off with a around a half pot size bet. I'd expect them to even bet some 10x on the flop at a decent frequency. And I wouldn't expect them to check too many flush draws. I'm gonna get a hand like go for the big bet, but not the over bet on the flushing. It seems wide, but I think I'm gonna flat this. I think we discussed these kind of hands. The check. I don't think he's betting a hand like ace king, ace queen here, ace jack. He's probably more likely to bet like his vulnerable hands and hands that benefit from getting higher hard hands to fold. So I think 6-7 just makes a good check fold. Do obviously have some backdoors, but I would much prefer to check raise a hand like pocket fours there, pocket fives, uh, ace four, ace five. Uh, if I had a hand like 6-7 of hearts, 6-7 of spades, 6-7 of clubs, I would go for the check raise. But 6-7 offsuit, I think just gonna check fold. King Jack offsuit out of position, gonna fold. Jack 10 offsuit here into the gun, gonna fold. Gonna play it for about 20 more minutes. Uh, 10-9 suited here, gonna go for the 3-bet. King 4, fold. Fold. I'm gonna pure 3-bet the 10-9 suited there in the straddle. I think it makes its way into a polar strategy. Three five here. Gonna be checking and folding.
Yeah, no equity, so.
Okay, this hand got out of control pretty fast because what are they checking the flop with and then checking the turn with and then check raising and then check jamming, which is pretty well. Wow. Okay, he checks twice with the set to go for the check raise, which is pretty funny. And Russell just wins a big one. Good for him, man. Jack 4 suited here, gonna raise. Um, Not entirely sure of the strategy here. I do think I want to be going for the bet here with the Jack X. I can maybe get a hand like King 4 to fold sometimes, Queen 4 to fold, Queen 5 to fold. A lot of hands that I get to fold that are better than mine. I also have some cool backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. I get raised. I mean, nothing to do but fold. You can have some deuce X, you can have pocket sixes, you can even raise some 6X maybe, or maybe some pocket pairs above the 6. No reason to go with the call there, so just gonna check fold. Checking pretty high frequency. I felt like tilting that guy. That was a bonehead move on his part, in my opinion. Well, the check raise is cool. And I guess you're. No, I mean his play is fine. Just kind of trolling. Here we get the min raise under the gun, which is pretty funny. Go to 8 big blinds here. Everybody's trolling him, which is pretty funny. I pick up the pocket kings, gonna raise. Don't
Don't fold everybody, please. 3-bet me. You fuckers. Whatever, I'm not mad. I'm gonna raise the ace-10. We got king-jack suited. I will also raise. Make me fight for pots instead of just having second best hand pre-flop and winning a big one. That's fine. Oh, okay. I'm fine with that. Here. Could bet. But I could also get check raise in. He goes for the big bet. Actually, probably pretty good. I don't give a fuck. Still gonna go for the check raise. Have a hand like ace queen, some king queen, some king 10. It folds, nice. Oh, we pick up the nuts on the turn. That's cool. Uh, 10-9-0, 2 limps in front of me. Guess I'll just check. Develop a gut shot on a monotone board. I get led into for a big sizing, which is, I mean, I lose to like a lot of hands that you would do this with, like ace high with a flush draw. So I guess I fold. Straights have no outs versus flushes. Some of my outs are going to give him a flush. Interesting turn card for this hand. Now pizza can definitely have boats like 4s and 6s or quads. Maybe a lot of flushes in range too. This guy's going small, small. He's kind of saying he's a little bit scared, right? I'd probably go ahead and raise a hand like maybe a hand like 8-9. Maybe fold out some flushes. So when you bet small on the turn, then bet small on the river, I would definitely want to abuse this line by him. 100%. Not gonna lie, I'm not entirely sure to play this spot. Go with 4 high. I think that starting the bet is good. Probably going for a double barrel. Hand like queen 10, queen 6 that he might limp with, has to fold. And do suited is an easy fold here. Here, pick up king jack suited. Gonna go for the raise. I think even if I face multiple flats here, Folding the twos is good, but continuing with like fives plus. I get three bet anyway, so here gonna be mainly going with the overbet. Oh, I definitely fucked that up. I'm sorry. I did not see that we were multi-way. This should be a 1/3 pot. Yeah, that's bad. Should be paying more attention in that spot. Uh, Now I wonder. No, I think I just go for the check. I completely butchered this. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing now. Definitely a mistake on my end. Sorry about that. Wow. So he calls the overbet, so he's definitely, he can have a lot of like ace X of clubs, right? That are not the nuts. You can also have like some suited connectors that are clubs that are gonna never fold. So I just fold now. It's definitely a mistake on my end. I'm gonna go for the 3-bet. Ace 4 suited. Here I'm gonna open ace jack offsuit. Calls. And we get the monotone flop. King 9 here gonna be a fold. This one is most likely gonna be a check back. Here I'm wondering what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna bet this one and get hand like ace queen of diamonds to fold potentially. Here goes with the big bet. Gonna fold that. Now I beat a hand like ace king with the ace of clubs. I think I'm gonna go ahead and bet like 2/3. I can get a. I'm really wondering here actually. My thinking is I can maybe get a hand like 10-10 fold sometimes, and a hand like ace king with the ace of clubs to call. I'm gonna bet like big enough that I can get tens to fold sometimes. Not gonna fold pure, obviously, especially not with the club. And now, I mean, I win versus a hand like ace king with the ace of clubs, ace queen with the ace of clubs. This is gonna be a fold. You can obviously have a hand like queens that's never folding. Do I win enough here? I don't want to check back and lose versus a hand like tens or eights. I think I'm gonna check back though. Have some showdown value. Beat flops top set. Good for him. He just goes for the call. I mean, yeah, I think going call there is kind of a bad play. Because I can have a lot of like ace, I can have some flushes obviously. I can also have a lot of like ace queen with the ace of clubs that has to call check raise. Oh well. Queen Jack out here. I'm gonna raise. Put one more orbit on each table. This one's gonna be a range check. Pick up the top two pair. I'm gonna go with the half pot. That's usually what my sizing is here. I'm not sure if going half pot is the best idea here. I'm not sure if overbetting ever is good, if small betting is good. You get calls from some pocket pairs in either way. I can have all sorts of draws like ace king, king 10, stuff like that. So I'm gonna go for the 150% pot. King queen. Here I'm gonna play another orbit here. I guess I'll just play another orbit everywhere. Ace four suited on the gun. Gonna go ahead and open. Here, just gonna be going with 3-bet to $60. Here we go multi-way. No backdoor flush draw. Under the gun, I'm gonna have ace king, ace queen, king queen, queen 10, queen jack. This is gonna be open here. For bluffs, I'm gonna have flush draws. So I guess my value multi-way should be like top pair plus, which I'm gonna have a lot of because I'm under the gun, and my bluff should be flush draws, and maybe no pair no draw one should be like draw like backdoor draws in between the 7 and the queen. So I'm just gonna go ahead and check. This one here going to also check heads up. I think that's big. I'm just gonna check fold. And now can also have like ace king, king jack, jack 9, blocks and pocket pair folds. I have a lot of bluffs here. I'm gonna check this one. Do I ever win versus a hand like 5-6 suited, 3-4 suited? It's small. I guess this one's just a give up. Queen 8. No equity here, so I'm gonna check. Yeah, I'm gonna check here. Here I'm gonna go for the 3-bet, obviously. Just gonna timestamp it, go for 3-bet. 9 through 3. Here I am going to be betting, and my sizing is going to be somewhere around the half pot to 0.66. Gonna go for the 0.66. Get a hand like Ace Queen of Hearts to fold. Pick up the flush draw, so I'm gonna be double barreling. And do I want to jam a hand like this ever? I think we might. I have outs versus a hand like tens. Fives calls. I have a lot of outs versus fives. Let's go once, sir. Give it to me. Nope, nope, nope. He gets it. It's an interesting call on the turn. Of course, get punished by the last orbit. Of course, of course, of course. But it's fine. Calling the 3-bet out of position, so short. Whatever. Calling the flop. Fine. On the turn, he loses to all my value and beats all my bluffs. It's the overbet. Do they think I'll overbet a hand like... I'll definitely overbet a hand like queens or jacks. I wouldn't want... I'd maybe overbet aces without the ace of diamonds. Kings without the king of diamonds. To make sure I get it in now versus a hand like tens. Before a queen or a king or whatever rolls off and scares them off the hand. Oh my god, did I really do that? Okay, I guess I'm gonna play one more orbit in the lake. It's annoying. I sat into my straddle. I'm gonna leave everywhere else though. Ace 10, gonna go for the open race. And gonna go for the fold versus the 3-bet. And GG over here. I mentioned how much I hate the broad 2-5. Yeah, I think jamming in that hand's actually a mistake on the turn. I can get a hand like ace queen of clubs, ace queen of spades to fold on the turn versus like a half pot size bet or whatever 2e is anyway. So yeah, probably a small mistake to jam. You do sometimes get a hand like fives, sixes, sevens, and eights to fold below the nine. You always get pure called by tens plus. Might be a cool exploit to jam there with value like jacks and queens and kings yourself, and just go with bluffs for the 2e sizing. My thought process was I don't really get to go to bluff the river, so I would think that like sixes and sevens and eights pure call versus half pot on the turn in reality, whereas they may fold versus jam, which is like what my thought process was. So that's one to discuss maybe if you actually like exploitatively going for a jam with any part of the ranges. Yeah, so we're done on these two tables, about to finish up here. So I'm gonna show the hands played and the wins and losses. Uh, I don't know why TJ keeps playing so short. He doesn't reload all the time. I don't know if it's bankroll issues or if he likes to play a short stack strategy, but I imagine as one of the better players in this game that you'd want to be as deep as possible. Last hand here. King Jack offsuit. Under the gun. Why not? Go for the raise. Last hand. Hit the flat on the button. Hit the flat from the second blind. This one gonna be a check range on the flop. It's also nice when we check range because when he bets, we get to see what the big blind is gonna do. It checks around, pick up the open ender, and we could still rep some flushes on the river with the jack of clubs. So I'm gonna start with around a half pot size bet. Here now blocking straights. Definitely want to go with the overbet. That's what I'm gonna do. Get it through, and we're sitting out. All right, so I'm gonna show the wins and losses now. Whoa. Yeah, it's this one. So that's it for the night. I'm just gonna add everything up. So we lost 222.6. That'll be it. Thanks for watching. No.